All right, good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started.
Morning,
Is
Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Jordan. How are you?
Doing great. I don't think courtroom two has logged on yet.
I didn't see them, that's why I was holding for a second.
I'll give them a call.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Falk. How are you?
Doing well. Quick question.
Yeah.
Are you okay with us just doing the three stipulation fax venue ID, or do you want us to put the facts on the record?
Um, let's see how it goes. Some of the charges I want to know, but typically if it's negotiated,
I
then
just have a
I'll
new ASG, so I want to make sure that he is prepared to go forward if you need the fact pattern.
okay. Let's say that I'm gonna ask for it, Ms. Falk, just so that we are all on the same page.
Understood?
Thank you. I know
Yeah,
you haven't had me in a while either.
courtroom too, but there's no deputy here and no one is here. So I cannot
Wait,
even,
say that again. Say that again, Miss Kim. What?
I am at courtroom two,
Yes.
but I don't see anybody here, Your Honor. And I'm actually locked outside of the courtroom too because I need a deputy to open the door for me.
Where is everybody?
I do not know, sir, Your Honor. I'm just waiting, hoping that
Okay.
someone, I talked to another officer to help us out.
Okay.
I want to answer the phone in courtroom two, so I'll try to call several.
Oh, here. No,
Miss
she's
Kim
not.
is there and locked out.
We may have to wait just a
All right.
little
I'll
bit
call
more.
several.
Okay. And Miss Falk and Miss Kim, if you can hear me, is Miss Kim gone? She might be gone. Oh, okay, you both are back. The understanding is that the cases, and I again, there was some debate about this, and I haven't done SAP with you all in a moment. Those parties who the cases are recommended for transfer will not be brought to the calendar today. Is that the agreement? But okay.
That is
All right.
correct. And then we normally ask for a 1 week reset in order to give the DA's office time to respond and send the transfer order.
Understood. Okay. That makes good and prudent sense. And to make sure we all understood. Thank you. Seems like it changes every time I come back to be with you all. All right, courtroom 2 is on the screen. Good morning, everyone. All right, this is the state all-purpose calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams, and today is April the 17th of 2025. At this calendar today, we will address a variety of matters. We will take pleas, waive cases of arraign as necessary. I want you to understand you have certain rights today. First, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Additionally, this proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this particular proceeding. When I ask if you understand your rights today, those are the rights to which I am referring. All right, who do we have?
Position 13, Judge, Mr. Hatton.
All right, and the announcement that I have.
Your
I'm
Honor, I
sorry.
need to speak. Madam.
Okay, you haven't had the opportunity to speak to him. Can you call the jail? Would that work?
Sure.
All right. So can we go to another position while Mr. White makes a call over to speak to him?
Position 16, Mr. Nolan.
I have that this one is a negotiated plea.
That's for
It's also my Honor.
Oh, okay. We need a case that doesn't belong to Mr. White.
anything above 29.
One of Ms. Kim's cases, please.
Position 42, Mr. Whitehall.
And I'm sorry, I didn't make it down to noting my calendar with those announcements. Ms. Kim, what's the announcement for Mr. White? Is it Mr. White, position 42, Mr. Trenton White?
Walk Hall, 42, Walk Hall.
That's not who's 42 on my calendar, is it?
Walt Hall is on the 11 o'clock calendar, Your Honor.
Okay, so we can't take that one yet.
Trenton White. Come on. We go take it. There we go. Got position 41, Mr. White.
Okay. And Ms. Kim, what is the announcement for Mr. White? Oh,
Your Honor. 1 second, Your Honor. It is, we have a 42, Mr. White. 41, Mr. White is released. And
okay.
2, Trenton White, Your Honor, is negotiated plea.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Mr. White, in this case, 25 CR 001749Y, you charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of April the 2nd. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Melgizo, will you please put the recommendation and a very brief summation of the facts onto the record for me?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
The state's recommendation is a 12-month sentence to serve 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days. That's from April 3rd, 2025 till today's date. Balance probated, stay away from Quick Trip located at 4745 Jonesboro Road, Union City. MHET, 40 hours of community service. There was an add-on.
Is it MH or BH?
I'm sorry, BHET. There was an add-on for 24 CR 007259Y. And for that one is 12 months concurrent with position 42. That's a global recommendation. We ask that the defense stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of this plea. Your Honor, on the day of the incident, which is April 2nd, 2025, upon officer arrival at Quick Trip, located at the location that I mentioned earlier, he observed the defendant loitering in front of the Quick Trip. The defendant had been told in the past that he was not allowed on the property anymore by the manager because he had been criminal trespass in the past.
Okay.
That is all for the state.
Thank you. Ms. Kim, was that your understanding of the offer, and do you so stipulate to those three elements?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. White, please raise your right hand. I'm going to place you under oath for the limited purpose of taking a plea. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
All right. Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange? You can put your hand down. Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that by taking a plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are satisfied with Ms. Kim's representation,
Yes, ma'am.
and you understand the requirements. You cannot go back to that quick trip. You need to do 40 hours of community service. You're going to undergo an evaluation, but you should not have additional time to serve in the Fulton County Jail for this case. You understand all of that, Mr. White?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charge of criminal trespass, how do you plead?
Not guilty, ma'am, but I say guilty of it, but that's all. Yeah.
Wait, no, you have to say guilty if you wish to take a plea. If not, we're proceeding to trial. Do you want to go to trial, Mr. White, is your right to do so?
No, I just plead guilty to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's ask you again. Let's make it very clear, because again, pleas are voluntary, Mr. White. You don't have to take a plea today. As to the charge of criminal trespass, Mr. White, how do you plead?
Not guilty. Guilty.
So you said not guilty again, so that means you don't want to take this plea today.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, so Ms. Kim, your client doesn't want to take a plea. Are you gonna waive arraignment and reset him further notice?
Yes, we will do that, Your Honor.
Okay, so this case will be a waiver of arraignment, reset, jail jury. Best of luck to you, Mr. White.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Come on.
I got Mr. 39 and 40, Mr. Watson.
Okay, thank you.
Hot riding. How are you all?
All right, good morning. Ms. Kim, what is the announcement for this case?
This case, we have a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay, are we sure? Does your client want to take a plea today?
You're doing, I think, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure before we go through it again. Mr. Watson, in case 24 CR 006653E, you're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of September the 22nd of 24, and you're also here on an FTA for an underlying charge. Do you understand your rights this morning?
Ma'am.
All right. Ms. Melguizo, please proceed. We put the recommendation in a brief summation for me.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is for the criminal trespass is 12 months. Credit for time served, 28 days. I'm sorry, time served, 28 days. Credit for time served, 14 days. That's from 09/22/24 to 09/24/22, and from April 7th, 2025 till today's date.
So should that be 24? I'm assuming it should be 24, not 22. Those dates.
So he was in jail from 09/22/24 till 9/24/22.
It
And
has to be 24 then, right? 9/22,
I'm sorry,
24.
24. Yeah, I'm sorry about that,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Okay, all
My
right.
apologies. Yes.
That's okay. I want to make sure I wasn't losing it. Go ahead.
Yes. For position 40, the FTA null pros upon this plea. We ask that the defense stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea.
Yes.
I'm sorry. And on the day of the incident, which was 09/22/24, officers were dispatched to the location in reference to two males being disorderly and saying that they wanted to fight. Upon officers' arrival, both subjects, one of them who was the defendant, were detained. A GCIC and a MARTA suspension check was conducted, and the defendant returned with an active MARTA suspension, which was effective on August 15, 2024. Mr. Watson, the defendant, was charged with criminal trespass for being on the property while he had a suspension. That is
Okay,
all for the state, Your Honor.
thank you. Ms. Kim, you so stipulate to those three elements, and that was your understanding that it's a time served plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Watson, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury?
Ma'am.
All right, thank you. You can go ahead and put your hand down. All right, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time that would affect your ability to understand this proceeding?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No, ma'am.
And you understand by taking a plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
All right, and you are satisfied with Ms. Kim's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the time you served should essentially close out your case. You understand that, Mr. Watson?
Ma'am.
All right, as to the charge of criminal trespass, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea, Mr. Watson. Is there anything additional from the state or the defense?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Watson. That concludes your case.
All right, you all stay blessed. Thank you, sweetheart.
Take care. Have a good day.
But these two need to be kept separate. Mr. McCall.
Good morning, Judge Williams.
Good morning.
She's in seat.
I have position number 17, Ms. Ramita Lowe.
I don't think we can do that half of the calendar yet. Mr. White's not back. Do you have anybody at the end of the calendar at ACDC?
It actually says for Bartel.
Oh,
You're right. I am back, just to let you know, I'm ready whenever.
oh, you're back and ready. Okay. All right. So, is Mr. Bartel here for Ms. Lowe, or is that your case, Mr. White?
This is Mr. Bartel's case, and he's not here yet.
Okay. We can't take her yet. Has ACDC heard their rights?
No, they have not, Judge.
Okay. Well, I'll do that as soon as we take the first ACDC position. Is there someone else we could take?
Yes, I have position number 18, Ms. Mathis. And that belongs to Tom White.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Mathis and all defendants at ACDC. My name is Judge Melanie Williams. This is the state all-purpose calendar. You have certain rights today,
I'm sorry.
including the.
I'm sorry to
Mr.
cut you
White.
off. That's actually also Mr. Bartel's case.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you for letting me know, Mr. White. Is there anybody, Mr. Bartels has what numbers?
Just those two, Judge.
Oh, just that was our luck. Okay. Is there someone else we could take ACDC?
No, that's it. But on the announcement, Judge, I guess there's an error because it says for Tom White.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think we'll be on hold at ACDC. Is there someone we can take at courtroom 2?
Position 30 and 31, Judge, Mr. Roberts.
Okay. I have that this is a pro se plea. He's declined the services of the public defender's office. Mr. Robinson, you don't wish to have Ms. Kim or Mr. White assist you today. That is my strong recommendation. You wish to do this yourself?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You wish to take a plea on your own, despite the services that will be offered free to you today. You wish to move forward?
No.
All right. Your case is 24 CR 001277J. You're charged with obstruction and criminal trespass. You are also here for an FTA. I'm going to go ahead and place you under oath. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today for the limited purpose of taking a plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and given under the penalty of perjury? All right, you can put your hand down, and you do understand the rights that you have today, Mr. Robinson, as explained by me previously?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because you're pro se, I'm going to have to ask you some additional questions as we go through this, okay? All right, Ms. Melgiso, will you please put the, I'll need the facts here. in a little bit more detail because he is pro se, if you can, and as well as the recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident is from March 18, 2024. The location is the Blimpie Express at 3657 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia. The defendant came into the store to purchase a Black and Mild cigar. The store clerk, Ms. Miheret Demptiu, stated that she informed the defendant there is a $3 minimum to use a debit card. When the defendant was informed of this, he became really angry, stormed out of the store, kicked the entry door, and caused damage to the door. When officers arrived, they observed the front door was off the hinge. Officers made contact with the defendant, and he stated that he got upset, but he didn't mean to damage the door. He tried to fix the door while the officers were there, but he couldn't because the hinge was bent. As officers tried to place the defendant in handcuffs, he snatched away and fled from both officers that were on the location on foot. They lost sight of the defendant, but searched the area and later on found the defendant laying down in the woods. The defendant was arrested. Your Honor, the state's recommendation for count 1, the willful obstruction, is 12 months to serve 22 days, credit for time served 11 days. That's from March 18, 2024 till March 20, 2024, and from April 7th, 2025 till today's date. Balance prorated and a $300 fine. For count 2, the criminal trespass, that's 12 months, 22 days to serve, credit for time served 11 days. That's from the date stated under count 1. Balance prorated, stay away from the Blimpie Express at 3657 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Northwest. No further contact with Ms. Miheret Demptiu, and restitution open for 30 days. For position 31, the state's recommendation is null pros upon this plea. And that is all for the state.
Okay. All right, Mr. Robinson. And again, I'm going to ask you that you, to make sure it's clear, you wish to represent yourself today despite having the right to an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And first, before we can even get to taking the plea, there are 3 elements that I have to get you to agree to. The facts, as Ms. Melgizo just put onto the record, if we are to take a plea in this case, you'd have to agree that those facts are correct. Do you agree that those facts are correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree that they have the proper defendant being you?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you agree that this occurred in Fulton County?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now I'm going to move forward and ask about your rights. All right, I mean, ask if you, to make sure you understand and that you're not giving up any certain rights without knowledge. All right, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time that would affect your ability to understand this proceeding?
No, ma'am.
All right. And you understand again that you had a right to an attorney, but you're choosing to move forward and represent yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you further understand that taking a guilty plea can affect aspects of your life that I might not be able to anticipate, neither may you, such as immigration or probation or other open cases or even employment. Do you understand all of that, Mr. Robinson?
Yes, ma'am.
And you further understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and before I ask how you plead to this charge, I am going to sound for Ms. Demptiu. Is Ms. Demptiu on this Zoom conference and wishes to make any statements? All right, I note that I've sounded for her in accordance with Marcy's law. All right, Mr. Robinson, last question. If you are to take a plea, you understand that you will be on probation for 12 months. You have to stay away from that Blimpie's location and have absolutely no contact with that clerk. Restitution or what you would owe the store will be determined at a later date. And you'd also have to pay a $300 fine. But according to my calculations, you should not have additional time to serve in the Fulton County Jail. Do you wish to move forward and take a plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Robinson, as to the charges of obstruction and criminal trespass and damage to property, how do you plead?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept your guilty plea. How will we coordinate getting the paperwork signed since he's pro se? Will someone at the jail still assist him? Is there anybody at the courtroom?
Go ahead, Judge.
Or Miss Kim, will one of the public defenders be able to give him the paperwork?
Yes, I'll be able to. Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Kim. All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Robinson. Take care and have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Got position 36, Mr. Terry.
All right, give me one moment.
Can ACDC give me a call, please? Numbers in the chat.
All right, Mr. Terry, your case is 25 CR 001790G. In this case, you're charged with obstruction and theft by shoplifting. You understand your rights today? All right. I'm sorry. Is Mr. White on the phone? Is this your case, Mr. White?
What position is this, Judge?
Position 36.
It is not.
That's not yours. Okay. And is that Miss Kim? Who represents position 36?
Most likely it will be me, Your Honor. I was also interviewing another client. Can we do someone else?
Okay, Miss Kim is not available. Can we take someone else?
Oh, Bartel is available, Your Honor. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Bartel. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Judge, the cases I have that are on this calendar are both the clients at ACDC. That's number 17 and 38. Whenever ACDC is ready, I can do that.
ACDC is ready. I believe they were here before. I think we called those cases. Is ACDC ready now?
And Judge, while we're waiting,
Yes.
there was some miscommunication, and position 18 is at ACDC, Miss Mathis, and I announced that was Mr. Bartel's case. That will be mine, and I have not spoken with her, but we'll get
Okay, so you need to give ACDC a call.
right.
Make an announcement on number 38, Your Honor.
Okay.
Turner, we're just going to ask for one reset for her to next week. We've gotten her evaluation back, and there is no need for her to be on the 11 a.m. calendar.
Okay.
Ms. Burgess is working on a placement for her, but that's still in process. So we would just ask for a reset to SAP on the 24th. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're resetting number 38 1 week.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we can take another position if anyone is available. And if not, we'll be on a very brief hold.
Position 11, Mr. Love.
And that is Mr. White. Is Mr. White on the
Position
phone? 11?
And Griffin?
Yes.
Judge, most of the clients we have are Mr. White's.
Okay, Mr. White's gonna give ACDC a call.
Judge, I need clarification on this client's name and position.
Oh, I'm sorry, position 11, Monty Griffin.
That case is transferred.
Oh, true, he should not be brought. That's correct.
Position 16, Mr. Love.
That's mine, and we're ready for negotiated plea, Judge.
Okay, we'll do that, position 16, and then Mr. White's gonna call ACDC. And then hopefully Ms. Kim will be ready by then. Good morning, Mr. Love. Your case is 25 CR 001781H. In this case, you're charged with theft by shoplifting. You understand your rights? All right. Whose case is this for the state?
It's mine, Your Honor. There was just a little bit of a delay on my end.
That's okay.
For the offense of theft by shoplifting, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months served 30 days, credit for time served 14 days. That's going to be from April 4th, 2025 until today. We are also requesting a $500 fine, anti-theft course, for 40 hours of community service, and stay away from 590 Cascade Avenue Southwest in Atlanta. This incident happened when the defendant entered the store, concealed 2 packs of crab legs in his jacket pocket with a value of $108, and tried to walk out of the store, all points of sale, without paying. The state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. I believe this address is a Kroger. I just wanted to double check. Yes, this is the Kroger Cascade City Center.
Okay, and he would have to serve one more day.
That is correct. Based on his number of previous theft by shopliftings, it was a 30-day sentence.
Okay. Mr. White, do you so stipulate, and was that your understanding?
That's correct, Judge. We discussed it yesterday. He understands he'll be released tomorrow. And we just asked the probation terminator go non-reporting upon completion of his requirements.
We
Okay.
don't object to non-reporting, but we do object to termination.
Okay. All right, Mr. Love, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury? All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time that would affect your ability to understand this proceeding? Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea today? Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you're satisfied with Mr. White's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And taking a guilty plea can affect other aspects of your life, such as employment, probation, immigration. You understand all of that? All right, and you further understand that you'll have to do 40 hours of community service, pay a fine, and take an anti-theft course. In addition, you cannot go back to that Kroger on Cascade Avenue. You understand all of those things? Is that a yes, Mr. Love?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charge of theft by shoplifting, Mr. Love, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, I accept your guilty plea. At the completion of the requirements, your probation can go non-reporting. Is there anything additional from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing for the defense, Judge.
Thank you. Best of luck to you, Mr. Love. Don't do that anymore, all right?
Thank you.
All right. We can, Mr. White, do you want to go ahead and call ACDC now?
No,
Yes,
we'll be
Judge.
calling Mr. White. We'll be calling him.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
thank you. Is Miss Kim ready?
Kim, you ready?
That did, Your Honor, I apologize, but we still have to finish up discussing.
Okay, you still need a moment. Okay. Are there any other positions we could take? Is Mr. Bartels ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Number 17.
Weldon, come on, Weldon.
Okay, hold on, Will. Your Honor, are we doing some cases from the 11 a.m. calendar as well?
We weren't. I was trying to finish this first before we went into our breakout to discuss the 11 a.m.
Well, Mr. Weldon is on the 11 a.m. calendar, Your Honor, but I think we could discuss his case now. I don't believe that he would need an order for an evaluation. And
You said he will not?
that's correct. And Ms. Williams, our social worker, Ms. Burgess also would concur with that. So it's just going to be a waiver of arraignment and reset to jail jury.
Which number was that? I'm sorry.
It's on the 11 a.m. calendar. Let me get it back.
What's his name?
Josh,
And Ms. Falk would have to weigh in and whether or not she agrees, I'm sure.
Yes, Your Honor. It's position, I don't have the position, but it's Mr. Weldon
yeah,
is the name of the defendant.
he's number 16 on the 11 a.m. calendar, Your Honor.
Okay. So you're just asking for a reset to SAP?
Well, we're just asking to waive arraignment and send it
Okay.
to the
To
jail.
the division.
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct.
Okay. And assuming state has no objection, we can do that.
State has no objection.
Okay, so we'll reset Mr. Weldon. Best of luck to you, Mr. Weldon. Your attorney's working hard on your case, okay?
Hey, thank you so much.
And PD Bartels, just out of an abundance of caution, do you want me to send you a recommendation on this?
We could do that. Yeah, if you could, Ms. Falk, I appreciate that, but he's been clear so far on what he wants to do, but I will let him know what the state's offer is.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I'll send the waiver over. Which litigation manager is working with us?
You can send it to Mr. Jordan today.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Appreciate it, Your Honor.
Take
Next,
care.
Judge, I have position number 17, Ms. Lowe, and that belongs to Bartel.
All right, and I don't think I finished giving ACDC their rights. All defendants at ACDC, please pay attention. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also are having a right to an attorney today, and this particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch. Ms. Lowe, your case is 25 CR 0017777C. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass and possession and use of a drug-related object. Do you understand your rights this morning?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that, Ms. Lowe. All right, the announcement I have is a non-negotiated plea. Is that still correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. Looking for my notes right here, we were, and yeah, the state's offer, thank you. The state's offer, it looks like is serve 45 days, credit for time served for the 15 days that she's been in. Balance of probation, stay away from the location. I believe this is a shopping center on Cleveland Avenue. And then count 2 is 12 months concurrent probation and an ADET. She is wanting to enter a guilty plea and resolve the case today, Your Honor, but Ms. Lowe tells me that she has a number of medical issues. She is, looks like 58 years old or 57 years old. I've been advised that she has a pacemaker in her heart. She has high blood pressure and borderline diabetes as well, unstable blood sugar. So she's been in 15 days. We would just ask the court for 30 days with credit for time served for 15 days. We would be in agreement with the rest of the state's recommendation.
Okay, hold on before we do that. Who do we have from pretrial today?
Miss Washington, I'm here.
Good morning, Ms. Washington. I apologize, I didn't see your name on the screen. Will you please give me the history for Ms. Lowe, position 17?
Yes, Your Honor, 61 arrest cycles. Their last arrest was in March of this year for criminal trespass. No disposition was listed. There was also a criminal trespass arrest in July of last year, as well as May of last year. There was an FTA as well from last year. Another criminal trespass from January of last year, as well as January of 2024 and November of 2023. There was appears to be a felony theft by shoplifting case in 2019, as well as another FTA from 2019, an arrest for drug-related objects in 2019, as well as 2018. Also another FTA from 2018. There was an arrest for theft by shoplifting in 2018 as well. No disposition was listed.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, Ms. Washington.
You're
Ms.
welcome.
Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason for the state's recommendation of days is because this is Ms. Lowe's second offense in the last year at the same location. She was actually sentenced on 24 CR 005188C. She pled guilty to criminal trespass, was given 12 months, served 36 days.
Ms. Falk, you're frozen. She can't hear us.
Yeah, there were problems with Zoom yesterday.
It's always something.
Yes, it is.
We'll give Ms. Falk a few moments.
You may need to log back on.
Right, and come back. We lost you, Miss. Oh, I think she's back. We lost you for a few moments, Miss Falk.
I just realized the Zoom came back on. My apologies.
That's
We're-
okay. I think you were saying that she was trespassed at the same location. We lost
Yes.
you for quite a while. Can before you continue, I know you said PD Parnell said it's a shopping plaza.
Yes, it is.
Do we know what's in that? Is there anything medically related in that plaza? I was trying to look it up. Is there any need for her to be there? Perhaps I don't know. I doubt it. But let's.
I saw several businesses, but I didn't see any kind of medical or.
Okay, I was making, there is a medical plaza on that street. I was just trying to make sure that that wasn't it. All right, Ms. Falk, please continue. And like I said, you were telling us it was the same location.
Yes, it was the same location. She received 26 days on the last sentence. So the state didn't feel that we could reasonably go lower than the amount of jail time she served the last time she trespassed from that location, especially considering she's still on probation when she trespassed again on that location. She also had, I believe it was a glass pipe on her person when she had it in her left pocket and was arrested again for being on that property. And that's why the state's recommendation was on this case 12 months served, 45 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, stay away from the Old South Plaza at 387 Cleveland Avenue, count 2, 12 months concurrent with ADET. And I'm not sure she's done any of the conditions of her previous probation, which included reporting to PAD, staying with her sister, and 40 hours of community service.
Okay, do we have any update on any of those items, Mr. Bartels?
I do not have any information from the court, Your Honor.
Okay.
She's been working with PAD. I left a message with them regarding when she is released, but I don't have any more specifics because I haven't been able to verify that.
Okay, and Ms. Falk, you may not know this, but the prior criminal trespasses back in 2024 those were different locations, I'm assuming, not the same one that's involved here.
I believe, see, there is one other one, and I can go back and check that really quickly, but I believe it was a different location.
I think it was.
Okay.
And I also took a look at that shopping plaza. There is food locations there, but not a medical center. And actually, I was incorrect. The previous case, 24 CR 00307D, was also at that location. That was an incident that happened May 16th of 2024. However, the reason I did not put that on the cheat sheet is because she got probation suspended on that. She was not on active probation, but this is her third criminal trespass at the same location.
Okay, and she served 15 days. So Ms. Falk, on bad at math again, she would have to sit how many additional days if I accept the state's recommendation?
So if you accept the state's recommendation, she served 15 days. So she would have to do about 7 or 8 more days.
And that's my.
It's 45, and 45 doesn't split cleanly into.
Right. Right.
So she'd essentially have to do about 7 more days.
All right. Ms. Lowe, you have essentially run out of choices, run out of options, and run out of grace. But Mr. Bartels, if she chooses to take the plea today, I will allow her to be released on a time served. So I would make it 30 days if she wishes to take the plea.
Okay, that's what you had asked about, Ms. Lowe. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And your client understands she absolutely cannot go back there. This is really her third strike, and I'm kind of doing this against my better judgment. Does your client understand she cannot go back there?
Yes, I have advised her that, Your Honor, but Ms. Lowe, you need to let the judge know you won't be going back there, okay?
All right.
Yes, ma'am, I would not.
All right, raise your right hand, Ms. Lowe. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time that would affect your ability to understand this proceeding?
I've been detoxing on medication, but I just understand.
So is that a yes or a no? You understand you're detoxing, but are you under the influence right now?
Oh, ma'am.
Do you fully understand this proceeding today and what's taking place?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're fully aware of your location and where you are?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you're satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, and you understand that you're giving up your right to trial by judge or jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you fully understand the requirements that you absolutely cannot go back to that plaza under any circumstances, Ms. Lowe?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
And don't even walk past it. You understand that?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
All right, and you also have some evaluations to undergo. Do you understand that? And to engage in any treatment you may need for alcohol and drug use. You understand that, Ms. Lowe?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
All right. As to you further understand that taking a guilty plea can affect other aspects of your life, such as other open cases, probation, and other matters I might not be able to anticipate. Do you understand that?
Ma'am.
All right, Ms. Lowe, as to the charge of criminal trespass and possession and use of drug-related objects, how do you plead?
Yes.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Mr. Bartels or Ms. Falk?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Lowe. We don't want to see you back here, and absolutely do not go back to that plaza, okay?
And
There's nothing in there for you right now. Take care.
Thank you, Judge.
Tom White ready?
Mr. White, are you ready?
Always.
Do you need to, can we do position 19 and 20 from the comments?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Come on.
All right, I have that one is a negotiated plea. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. Mr. McCommons, your case is 24 CR 001057F. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass, and the second case is merely an FTA. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This case occurred on, let's see. Oh, my apologies. The state's recommendation on this case is 12 months served, 18 days. Credit for time served 9 days from March 5th to March 6th, 2024, and April 10th, 2025 until today. Balance suspended. Stay away from the platform apartments located at 290 Martin Luther King Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. The defendant entered that location by climbing through the patio door. He was leaving that apartment. That apartment is vacant. And when questioned, he admitted to being in the hallway of the apartment complex smoking crack cocaine. He is not currently a resident of that apartment complex. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's it.
All right. And do you so stipulate, Mr. White, and that was your understanding?
That's correct, Judge. We do.
All right. Mr. McCommons, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Is that a yes? Speak as loudly as you can for me.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McCommons. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand by taking a plea today that you're giving up your right to trial by judge or jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
And you further understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as probation, immigration, or employment?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you understand other than the time you serve should close out your case, but you cannot go back to that apartment complex. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. As to the charge of criminal trespass, how do you plead, Mr. McCommons?
Yes.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Ms. Falk, Mr. White?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. McCommons. That concludes your case.
Position number 32, Hattie.
I'm sorry, position 32?
We'll go next after that.
I'm sorry, what number is this?
13.
Oh, 13. Okay, my apologies.
Your Honor, this is the one I had to speak with, the first one that they brought out. This is going to now be a negotiated plea.
Okay. All right, I'm not going to sound these charges, and I'll just, Ms. Falk will skip putting the facts onto the record for this one. Mr. Hayden, your case is 25 CR 001803E. I am not going to sound two of the charges in this case, but in this case, you're also charged with harassing communications. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as this is a negotiated plea, I'm going to go ahead and place you under oath. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Ms. Falk, will you just put the recommendation onto the record for me?
Count one, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months served 120 days, credit for time served 13 days from April 5th, 2025 until today. Balance probated, no further contact with English Hill. Stay away from 3360 Desert Drive in East Point, 100 hours of community service. Count two, 12 months consecutive to count one. Contact with English Hill, stay away from the same address. Count three, 12 months concurrent with count one. So that would be 24 months, 120 days, credit for time served 13 days, no further contact with Miss Hill, stay away from her residence, and 100 hours of community service. We did have a conversation with Miss Hill. She has stated she agrees to the plea. She is here on Zoom and is, based on Marcy's law, does have a right to make a statement if she wishes at this time. We do ask the defense to stipulate actual basis and identification for the purposes of the plea.
All right, you so stipulate, Mr. White?
We do stipulate, Your Honor. We just have requests for the second year of probation that it go non-reporting as long as he's compliant with everything else.
And Your Honor, the state would object to that. 22 CR 001811B involved the same victim, Miss English Hill. This is a pattern of behavior that we are trying to curtail. And we're asking that he spend the entire 24 months on probation.
All right, I will consider and think about that. He would have how many additional days serving Fulton County Jail?
47, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Hills, I see you on Zoom. You're not required to make a statement. However, if you wish to do so, this is your opportunity. I would just need you to turn on your camera and raise your right hand.
No, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you being here this morning. All right, Mr. Hayden, please, I placed you under oath already. I'm going to ask you some questions to make sure that this is a voluntary plea. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning? Is that a no?
No.
All right, and you understand that you're giving up your right to trial by judge or jury?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
Oh, no.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking one? Is that a yes?
No.
Okay, thank you. Are you satisfied with Mr. White's representation?
Yes.
And do you fully understand all the requirements, including the 100 hours of community service, that you can have absolutely no contact with the victim in this case? You need to stay away from that location in East Point, and more than likely you'll be on probation for 24 months and reporting the full time. I'm going to consider that. Do you understand all those requirements, Mr. Hayden?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you you fully understand that taking a guilty plea can affect other aspects of your life, such as probation, employment, immigration, or if you have open cases, it may affect that. Do you understand all of that?
No.
All right. As to the charges listed in this case, Mr. Hayden, how do you plead? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. All right. I am going to require that if he takes this plea, he would have to report the entire time, the full 24 months, Mr. White. But I will waive 6 months of fees for him. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Hayden, best of luck to you. That concludes your case, and best of luck to you as well, Ms. Hills. Take care. Have a good afternoon.
Next, Judge, I have position number 18, Ms. Mathis.
Okay.
Judge,
All
that's
right.
going to plea.
Thank you. Ms. Mathis, your case is 25 CR 001783E. You're charged with 2 counts of theft by taking. Do you understand your rights?
Yes. Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. On the state's recommendation on this case, on count 1 is going to be 12 months served, 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days, balance probated, 40 hours community service, anti-theft course. We are also asking that the defendant have no further contact with Delroy Brown and that restitution be determined within 30 days. I did neglect to put a recommendation for count 2. Count 2 would merge with count 1 since it involved the same individual. This incident happened on February 24th, 2025. Delroy Brown was a known friend who has known this defendant for a couple of weeks and stated she stole his wallet and his tablet. He advised he had met the defendant at the incident location. She asked to sit inside the vehicle, and when exiting the vehicle, Mr. Brown advised she took his wallet tablet from inside the vehicle and did not return it. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea. That's all for the state.
And do you so stipulate?
So stipulated, Judge.
And Your Honor, we neglected to sound for Delroy Brown. I apologize.
All right. Is Mr. Brown present and wishes to make a statement? All right. Ms. Mathis, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge and given under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
And you understand by taking a plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury? And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these 2 charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt? And you understand that you'll have to take a class, do 40 hours of community service, and you cannot have any contact with Mr. Brown. You understand that? And within 30 days, they will make a determination as to what you owe him. But otherwise, the time that you served in the Fulton County Jail should close your case. Do you understand the sentence that you're pleading guilty to? All right. As to the charge of theft by taking, Ms. Mathis, how do you plead? I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Ms. Falk or Mr. White?
Yes,
No.
Your Honor. I'm sorry, Ms. Falk.
No, go ahead.
We're just asking that probation go to non-reporting when she completes all the requirements.
All right. It can go non-reporting. Thank you. Best of luck to you, Ms. Mathis. Can we take Ms. McLeod's case? Who does Ms. McLeod represent?
He's on the phone with him at this moment.
Okay, understood.
So we're gonna take position 3 and 4, Mr. Bogan Jr.
Mr. Jordan, you had a question for me?
On Ms. Mathis,
Uh-huh.
was that plea the same for both charges?
Well, I think 1 is gonna merge though, right?
Count
right.
2 merges into
Count
count
2
1.
merges.
Mr. Jordan.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna go to position 3 and 4, Mr. Bogan. Mr. Bogan, your case is 22 CR 005901F, in which you're charged with fare evasion and criminal trespass. Your second charge is an FTA. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. On count 1 and count 2, both the fare evasion and the criminal trespass, state's recommendation is time served. The defendant has been in jail for 13 days, so we are asking for 26 days, credit for time served 13 days. And to close this case, on position 4, we are asking to null process case upon acceptance of the plea. Essentially, on September 2022, this defendant entered MARTA property at Piedmont Station on 2420 Piedmont Road in Atlanta. He was suspended until September 5th, 2022. So there is nothing stopping him from getting back on MARTA. That's all for the state. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the plea.
And
So
you so stipulate. Thank you, Mr. White. All right, Mr. Bogan, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking the plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that by taking the plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yeah.
And you further understand that taking a guilty plea may affect probation, employment, or other aspects of your life that I may not be able to anticipate?
Ma'am.
All right. And taking a guilty plea today, basically the time you served in the Fulton County Jail should close your case. Do you understand the sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. As to the charges of fair evasion and criminal trespass, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Ms. Falk, Mr. White?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Bogan. That concludes your case.
Time served, is that being released?
If you don't have other holds, they'll begin processing you out, okay?
Number 8, Mr. Escobar.
All right, Mr. Escobar, your case is 25 CR 0017553Y. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass and theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the announcement I have is that this is a negotiated plea?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Your Honor, my apologies. I had somebody reach out to me from the office. This is Mr. Estaba.
Yes, position 8.
Thank you, Your Honor. On the one count of criminal trespass, the state's recommendation on this case is 12 months concurrent with count 2. On count 2, which is the theft by shoplifting, the state's recommendation on that is 12 months credit to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. That's going to be from April 3rd, 2025 until today, balance probated. Stay away from the Walmart at 844 Cleveland Avenue in East Point, anti-theft course, and 40 hours of community service. This essentially was the defendant going into the Walmart where he'd already been trespassed on June 16th of 2024, entering that location at on Cleveland Avenue in East Point and taking 200, well, actually he stole items, but this Cleveland Avenue incident, he took $50.85 of items and placed them into his pockets in a knee sleeve. He took, allergy medicine and a knee sleeve and placed them in his pockets, the value of which was $50.85. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of the plea.
We stipulate, Judge, just ask that the probation terminator go non-reporting once he completes his requirements.
Okay. All right.
We don't object to non-reporting, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Asaba, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
No.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking one?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that by taking a plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment, probation, immigration, or things that I might not be able to anticipate? All right, and you're satisfied with Mr. White's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you fully understand the requirements that you cannot go back to that Walmart on Cleveland Avenue. You're going to take an anti-theft class, and you will also complete 40 hours of community service. Do you understand all of that? All right. As to the charges of criminal trespass and theft by shoplifting, how do you plead? I accept your guilty plea. Once Mr. Asaba has completed the requirements, his probation can go non-reporting.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right. Is there anything additional?
Not from the defense.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Thank you, ma'am.
We got position number 43, Mr. Keith Williams going pro se.
Okay, this is Mr. Williams. Good morning. Who represents Mr. Williams?
He said he's going pro se.
Okay. You're going to represent yourself. You are declining the services of the Public Defender's Office against strong recommendations.
Wow.
All right, Mr. Williams, your case is 25 CR 001762J. You're charged with criminal trespass and damage to property, battery, family violence, and criminal trespass and damage to property with the offense date of April the 2nd of 2025. And you fully understand your rights today, including the right that you have to an attorney?
Ma'am.
All right. Ms. Melgizo, will you please put the facts in a little bit more detail onto the record for me, as well as the recommendation from the state?
Absolutely, Your Honor. This incident is from April 2nd, 2025. The location is 1125 Dolphin Drive Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30311. Your Honor, the victim in this case is Chris Robinson. On the day of the incident, the defendant and the victim got into a verbal altercation while the defendant was on his way from work. When the defendant got home, he kicked in the door and both parties continued arguing. The defendant then took the victim's phone and destroyed it. The victim went outside and the defendant came outside and told the victim to give him the cigarette that she was smoking. The victim threw the cigarette on the ground and the defendant got upset and hit her on the face and left. Victim went to the store and when she came back, she was sitting on the porch. The defendant came back and hit the victim again. A physical altercation started. A neighbor called the police. The neighbor, who's a witness, said that he saw the defendant walk across the parking lot aggressively and then stroke the victim in the face. The witness stated that the victim was fighting, but it was in self-defense. Your Honor, the state's recommendation for count 1 is 12 months, serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. That's from April 3rd, 2025 till today's date. Balance probated, no further violent contact with Chris Robinson. For count 2, 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. Concurrent with count 1, balance probated, FVIP, no further violent contact with Chris Robinson, ADET, and MHET. Count 3, the criminal trespass to merge with count 1. If we can sound for the victim at this time, that is all for the state.
All right, is Chris Robinson on this Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement? Okay, hearing and seeing none. Mr. Williams, I'm going to
Yes,
turn it
I
back.
would. Yes, I would like to make a statement.
All right, I need you to turn your camera on. All right, I need you to fully come into view.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, what would you like to tell me this morning?
I just would like to say that Keith is a really good guy. He was upset. I do have to have contact with Keith because I'm his payee for his Social Security benefit. So I am his payee, so I have to deal with him. And also that you all cannot put him on the no trespass because the apartment is also in his name and I'm just here helping him out. So I don't disagree with anything that the state says. I just need them to be able to where we're able to have contact with each other because I'm his payee and he has to be able, I have to be around him in order for him to get his money. And also, I don't want him on a no trespass away from the property because he is on the lease and that'll have to make me move away from the location.
No one's asking for either of those things. The state
All
has
right.
requested for him to have no violent contact with you, and they have not excluded him from the property. Okay?
All right. That's
So is
all.
there anything else you wanted me to know, Miss Robinson?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, both of your concerns have been addressed. Thank you for coming to court, and I appreciate you making that statement, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Williams, again, I think you should accept the services of the Public Defender's Office in taking this plea this morning, especially in light of the requirements. Are you sure you wish to go forward on your own without their assistance this morning? All right, you're sure. And I'm going to place you under oath. I don't believe I did that. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge and give it under the penalty of perjury? All right, you can put your hand down. Now, before we get to the questions, to make sure you understand, I first have to make sure that you can stipulate or essentially agree to the facts, or else we can't take the plea. So the facts as presented by Ms. Melgizo, who represents the state in this case, do you agree that those facts are true and correct, or are you agreeing to them for the purposes of this plea?
No.
And do you agree that they have the proper defendant being you?
No.
And you agree that it took place in Fulton County?
No.
All right, you're still under oath. I'm going to ask some questions to make sure you fully understand. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time that would affect your ability to understand this proceeding today?
No.
You said yes, or did you say no?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. I appreciate. Sometimes it gets a little, it's hard to hear sometimes. Are you satisfied? I mean, you understand that you had a right to an attorney, but you're choosing to move forward and represent yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
And you feel that you have sufficient knowledge of the state and the laws of Georgia to do so?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
And by taking a guilty plea, it may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment, probation, immigration, and other matters I may not be able to anticipate. Do you understand that, Mr. Williams? And you fully understand the requirements. I'm going to go through them again. You should not have additional time to serve in the Fulton County Jail. However, you cannot have any violent contact with Ms. Robinson. You have to complete a family violence intervention course, which is a course that is approximately 6 months long. You'd have to undergo some evaluations for some health evaluations and evaluation for drug and alcohol. You understand that, Mr. Williams? And you fully agree that you're willing to do that as part of this sentence, and you would be required to do so?
No.
All right. As to the charges of criminal trespass and damage to property, battery, family violence, and criminal trespass and damage to property, how do you plead, Mr. Williams? I'm sorry, I need you to say it very loudly for me. All right, I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Ms. Melgizo?
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Williams. That concludes your case, all right?
Excuse me, Judge.
Yes.
I'm still on the line. Mr. Williams he's dyslexic. He has a reading problem, and I don't know the courses of the thing that he's the family violence program that he's in, but I will have to be allowed to go with him to help him read the work. So
Well, I don't know if there's nothing I can do about that specifically. Perhaps you can speak with someone involved in the course, okay? But there's nothing I can put into the order that says that they have to let you, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Robinson. Take care. Have a good afternoon. All right, who do we have next? Can we take Ms. McLeod's case?
Number 2, Ms. McLeod, client.
Okay, thank you.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, is this James Belval?
Yes,
All right, sir, your case is 25 CR 001591C. In this case, you're charged with simple assault and terroristic threats and acts. Do you understand your rights this morning?
yes, I understand.
All right, thank you. And what is the announcement for this case?
Your Honor, this is going to be a negotiated plea, but I do have one small matter which I would like to change.
All right, we'll just get to that in one moment. All right. Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Well, Your Honor, the state would like to know what that is because it may make this non-negotiated.
Okay, what is the matter?
Okay. I would like to see if he can get out today, Your Honor. He has a few more days to spend based on what the
Oh,
state
it's
has
not
offered him.
negotiated then.
Well,
That's not
technically,
negotiated.
everything else is negotiated.
No, if the jail time is usually the main item, so that's not negotiated at all. Okay, let's see, Ms. Washington, can I have the history?
Yes, Your Honor. Give me 1 second. In Georgia, there are 24 arrest cycles. The last arrest appeared to be in Georgia from 2022 for a probation violation regarding a felony charge. There was a 2022 felony conviction for theft by shoplifting. The history mostly, from what I'm seeing, is consisting of theft by shoplifting, criminal trespass, and there was a 2010, I'm going to waive sounding, but it was a violent charge, misdemeanor conviction. And let me see, and then a 2011 felony conviction for theft by shoplifting. And there is some violent history that appeared to be from Florida, dating back to 1996 for a battery charge, domestic violence charge.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just not to put a too fine a point on, defendant has 76 cycles out of Florida. So he has 20-something cycles from Georgia, 76 cycles from Florida. So he's nearing 100 arrest cycles between those two states, which is one of the reasons for the state's recommendation.
And there's what, 7 days at issue?
Yes.
Okay.
And as mentioned, Your Honor, the arrest from Florida appeared to be mostly consisting of theft and violent history.
Okay, understood. All right, so the only issue is the jail time. I'll consider that.
Yes, Your Honor. And there is a significant reason why I'm asking for him to be released today. He tells me that he has a medical emergency. My client is a diabetic. He told me that he did not have his insulin this morning, and he did reach out to the captain just to let them know that it was an issue. There is some issue even with his meals in the jail because what he's getting is not consistent what it ought to be given that he is a diabetic. We're talking about a matter of 7 days, Your Honor, and his health. So that's the reason why I'm asking. Everything else in the plea, he's fine with. He just wants to be able to get out so he can address this medical issue since seeing he's having a medical emergency right now with his diabetes.
All right, Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. On March 25th of this year, the defendant was at the Shell gas station at 10761 Alpharetta Highway. Officers arrived there. They spoke to the manager, Brandy Bostwick, who was escorting the defendant out of the business. And when he exited, as she was escorting him out, he in defensive posture and said, "Do you know people I beat up today? I can beat your ass." He then threatened her and clapped his hands together and then repeated that he would beat her ass. The video footage, it looks like they were able to record video footage. He had his back door looking down on her hands in front of her face, and then eventually left the business. He was asked to leave and had refused to leave prior to being escorted out, which is the basis for that simple assault and terroristic threats and acts. We ask for 12 months or 60 days, credit for time served 23 from March 26, 2025 until today, balance probated, no further contact with Brandy Bostwick. 12 weeks anger management, stay away from the Shell gas station at that location, 10761 Alpharetta Highway in Alpharetta. Count 2, 12 months concurrent with count 1. And again, the jail time is based on his extensive history.
Ms. McLeod? Anything else you'd like me to know and consider?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand the state's position. However, we're talking about a health issue, and this is not a situation where he struck anyone. Of course, he denies that he was threatening in any way, but the issue, Your Honor, is his health right now. He really wants to get out so that he can address his health because he has a medical emergency at this moment, and also they haven't been giving him the correct diet for his diabetes while he's been in jail.
And Your Honor,
So
I
that is why I'm asking the court to just let him get out today. It's 7 days we're talking about. His health is important.
and I didn't mean to interrupt Your Honor, but I'm not sure how we can say he said he didn't do this offense when he is pleading guilty to this offense.
No, I didn't say that. He said he was not as threatening as they claim, that he was threatening in that manner, putting, he didn't touch her or anything.
Right, which is why we charged simple assault. We didn't allege he
Okay.
touched her.
All right, if he takes the plea, Ms. McLeod, I do understand your position. I would accept the state's recommendation. Does he still wish to take the plea today?
Mr. Belvo, do you still wish to take the plea?
Plea is good, but I'd like to, could I say something to the judge?
I don't think you should, but you should let Ms. McLeod speak for you.
Well, I just wanted to say the police report is a prima facie case. I agree that.
Ms. Belvo, if you're gonna take the plea, let's just take the plea and I will talk to you afterwards, okay?
If we can talk afterwards, yes.
Wait, so do you want to take the plea? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking the plea?
Outside of the plea offer, no.
All right. And do you understand the requirements to take that you would have to take the anger management course and stay away from that Shell gas station as part of your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry, I did not sound for Brandy Boswick. Is Brandy Boswick on the Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement? All right, hearing none, we'll continue. Are you satisfied with Ms. McLeod's representation?
Yes, I am.
All right. And you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand you're giving up the right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you fully understand, we went over the requirements. You understand that taking a guilty plea can affect other aspects of your life, such as probation, employment, or immigration?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charges of simple assault and terroristic threats, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
All right, I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Ms. Falk or Ms. McLeod?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir.
I just want to make sure, Your Honor, that they check his health. He needs to get his insulin before 5 o'clock today. That's
right.
important.
All right, I'm sure they've heard that announcement at courtroom too. Please make sure he gets all relevant medicines as required. All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. Ms. McLeod, does that conclude your business today?
It does, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, it may. Take care. Have a good afternoon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. You're welcome.
We're gonna do position number 36, Carrie. And we also need a Spanish interpreter for position 34, Sandoval.
Will we have that interpreter today, Mr. Jordan, or are we gonna have to reset that case?
We can try to get one, yeah.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna try to get interpretation.
I'll
All right.
check it right now, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Grace. All right, Ms. Kim, for position 30, what is the announcement?
Get it, please, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Terry, your case is 25 CR 001790G. You're charged with obstruction and theft by shoplifting on on April the 3rd of 2025. Do you understand your rights today? All right, thank you. Ms. Melgiso, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. For count 1, the willful obstruction, the state's recommendation is 12 months, serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. That's from April 2nd, 2025 till today's date. balance probated, $300 fine. For count 2, theft by shoplifting is 12 months, serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. That's going to be concurrent with count 1, balance probated, anti-theft course, stay away from Burlington Code Factory at 6385 Old National Highway, South Fulton, Georgia. We ask that the defense stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea. Your Honor, on the day of the incident, I'm sorry, do you want to hear the facts,
Yes,
Your Honor?
yes, please.
Oh, absolutely. On the day of the incident, officers responded to a theft by shoplifting call at the location. They found the defendant nearby with a shopping cart full of the suspected stolen items. Once the defendant saw the officers, he abandoned the cart and took off running on foot. The defendant ignored officers' verbal commands and jumped the fence. Officers chased the defendant and were able to apprehend him. Officers returned the items that were in the shopping cart to Burlington, and they received an itemized receipt of these items that totaled $405.57. That is all for the state, Your Honor.
All right. I want to look at one thing. Okay, Ms. Kim, that was your understanding of the offer, and do you stipulate to the 3 elements?
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to ask for probation fees to wait for first 2 months. He has to find a job, and also maybe the probation can be terminated or become non-reporting after his conditions are met.
Okay, I'll consider that, Ms. Kim. Thank you. Mr. Terry, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time that would affect your ability to understand this proceeding?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that by taking a guilty plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up the giving up the fact that the state would have to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're satisfied with Ms. Kim's representation this morning?
No.
Do you fully understand the requirements of the sentence, including the fact that you would have to pay a $300 fine, take an anti-theft course, and stay away from that Burlington Coat Factory? Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
But you should not have additional time to serve in the Fulton County Jail. All right, as to the charges of obstruction and theft by shoplifting, Mr. Terry, how do you plead? All right, I accept your guilty plea. I will waive 1 month of fees, Ms. Kim, and once he has completed the requirements, his probation can go non-reporting. All right?
Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Terry. That concludes your case. All right, who do we have next?
Parker, position number 27 and 28. Your Honor, he would like to talk to Your Honor.
This case was reset, correct?
Your Honor, I advise him not to speak at all. However, he insists to talk. So.
All right, let's make sure this case is reset though, correct?
That is my understanding, Your Honor.
It's being referred to the DA as a transfer. Is that what's happening with this case?
I'm sorry, was that position?
I'm sorry, I'm making sure 27, he's Antoine Parker, correct? 27 and 28. That's correct, Ms. Kim?
Correct, Your Honor. He should be going to a felony court first. However, they brought him here.
Okay. So your case is being reset 1 week. The state has recommended that your charges be upgraded to a felony. Ms. Kim is giving you very good advice in advising you not to make any statements today because the state is listening. And what they can do is based upon anything that you try to tell me, they can add additional charges if they so choose. And there would be nothing that Ms. Kim or I could do about that. That would be their right to do so. Your case is reset 1 week. It's my advice that you wait until that 1 week to see what happens. But is there something that you feel that you must address?
I take mental meds and I haven't been given my mental meds at all.
The night of the night that I threw the rock through the car window, because I was upset because I had nowhere to live.
Okay, hold on. You're saying things again that the state may use against you, but I think you should limit that to the fact that you have not gotten your medication. Ms. Kim has heard that, as is the jail. I will instruct the jail to make sure you get your medication, okay? All right, I think that's all you should say to me, Mr. Parker. I really think that you should end there, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I was just letting you know I wasn't aware of what I was doing really because I wasn't on my
I know, but that's something we should address at a different time, okay? Because and you may say something to me that you don't think is a bad thing, but the state could interpret it a different way, okay?
I understand. Yeah,
And it may affect your attorney's ability to represent you later, because you may say something by mistake.
I was on drugs too.
No. Okay, that's really not good. I don't want you to say that. I'm really trying to help you, Mr. Parker.
And Your Honor, just to clarify for the record, we did not ask for a transfer on Parker. That was a reset requested by the defense. State didn't ask for a
Oh,
transfer on that.
okay. What was the reset reason, Miss Kim? You're
And we cannot, I cannot represent him, and I don't think it was good ideas. I strongly advise him against to take any plea deals at this point.
Okay, understood. There were some other issues pertain. Okay, so please make it clear to Mr. Parker that the case is not being upgraded. Mr. Parker, so we're not trying to upgrade you to felony. This defense just has some additional work to do. All right? All right. All right, who do we have next?
Waiting on Mr. Bartel to come back, and then we waiting on the Spanish interpreter.
We have interpretation. I see Miss Lucia is on the line.
He gone. Come on,
Who-
Sam.
Have you been able to interview?
Not
Who
yet. I can use my laptop and go to another place to.
Okay, so we're gonna need to put Lucia in a breakout.
And then we waiting on Mr. Durante Partridge to log on. We just, the client's trying to contact him now because he was under the impression that he was supposed to be on the calendar for tomorrow.
Okay, understood. All right, can we, Ms. Kim is gonna go into a breakout, and I guess she'll take the defendant over by her laptop to do the breakout with the interpreter. Lucia, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
It's
morning.
Lucia Urtusastegui. That's
All right.
URTUSASTEGUI.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that today you will make an accurate translation from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, to the best of your skills, your knowledge, and your abilities?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. You'll be under oath for the remainder of this proceeding. All right, and there's Ms. Kim to go into the breakout. Are there any other matters we could take? Okay, if not, we'll be on a very brief hold.
Okay, Mr. Paul Bartel just walked back in. We can do Mr. Walhall. Come on.
Walt Hall is on the 11 o'clock calendar, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That one, we can't really do that one yet, I don't think. Is there anything else we can do? No one else?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is the calendar complete? Let me look. Mrs. Jordan, are we finished? We might be.
Let me run through it real quick, Jeff.
I'm looking.
We holding on Mr. Monroe, 21 and 23.
Okay.
I'm trying to contact you prior to the time.
Is there anybody that we have to walk to the floors for?
No, Mr. Durante Parker is still ready to log on now. For,
Okay.
21, 23. There he is. I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Mr. Partridge is online. Who is his client again? I'm sorry.
Norman Monroe.
Okay.
21 through 23.
All right. And then is that who stated before me, Mr. Monroe?
Yes. Yes,
All
Your
right. All right, Mr. Monroe, your case is 24 CR 007971D. In this case, you're charged with battery and simple battery. Do you understand your rights today? All right, thank you. Mr. Partridge, what is your announcement for this case? Are we taking a plea? Are we resetting for trial?
Judge, so I talked to the state. We were here before on a fast track calendar, and when Mr. Moreau was granted bond, um, apparently I was never added to the case, so we never received any sort of notice for court. I did reach out to Seth Brown in the solicitor's office, who is prosecuting the case. We don't have discovery, we don't have anything regarding the case, so I would not want to enter a plea this morning. But we were hoping to have the bench warrant withdrawn and by consent with Mr. Brown and have Mr. Monroe released if the court would be willing to reinstate his bond.
So he has an FTA for the underlying charge. What is the state's position regarding that, Ms. Melgisa?
Let me check.
Do you want to hear the offer, Mr. Partridge?
Yeah, I don't judge. I'm very familiar with the situation and what took place from the beginning. We have some counter evidence that we'd like to put forward as well. In this situation, we believe that based on several witnesses that, and including APD officers, that Mr. Monroe was protecting himself, so his actions were justified. So we will not be entering the plea, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, we object to lifting the bench warrant.
Okay, on what grounds?
He has an FTA on this case and also in a felony case.
Okay.
And Judge, that felony case will be resolved tomorrow. He is scheduled to appear before Judge Nancy Ma tomorrow to resolve that case. It was a similar situation, Your Honor, where we did not receive any notice. I am on that case. I didn't get notice, nor did my client get notice to appear. But nonetheless, that case has been resolved. This will be the only remaining case that he would have.
Hold on, let me look at one thing. So what was his bond and he failed to appear when? Let me look.
I believe the failure to appear date was sometime in January. He was released from this case back in December, however, Your Honor, and we just never received any notice to appear before Judge Edline, I believe is where it was
Mr.
placed.
Jordan, do you see any return of service? Did the defendant get it, even if his attorney didn't? I'm looking.
And Your Honor, if I may, the state's recommendation will be to reset for 1 week until we wait for the resolution of the felony.
So we have a probated offer for that felony case. As an officer of the court, I've talked to Assistant DA Brad Malkin, and we have a non-negotiated plea scheduled for that tomorrow. So it definitely will be resolved. And Mr. Monroe, we'd be asking that he be released. But I did speak to, again, Seth Brown in the solicitor's office, who, by consent, is agreeing to reinstate his bond.
Do you have any notice of that, Miss? Yeah, Miss Falk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mr. Partridge, I'd be happy to look at that if you'd send it over.
I have it via email. Who can I send it to?
So
You can
I'll
send it to
put
Ms.
my
Falk.
email address in the chat.
Okay, that's not a problem. I'll send it over right now.
All right, let's let Ms. Falk take a look at that and then we'll proceed from there. Okay, hold for me, Mr. Partridge.
Okay, we'll do. I'm on standby.
Thank you. And I'm also looking to see, did we see any return of services to the defendant, Mr. Jordan?
No, Your Honor, I didn't see anything.
I did not, Your Honor.
Okay, so
Like
you
his
know,
FTA was at arraignment on 1/13/25.
okay. And I understand you're saying you didn't get it, Mr. Partridge, but we always look for proof that the defendant didn't get it either.
Well, I think I mentioned that as well, Your Honor, just to say that I was there for Mr. Monroe's first appearance where we got him a bond. I filled out an entry over at the jail, and for whatever reason, I was never added to the case. So I believe there's a bigger issue as it relates to that, because it's my understanding per my client, I don't appear on this calendar today at all as well. And he thankfully was able to have someone call me so that I can get on. I was not aware of this calendar either.
Okay. All right, we'll be on hold for one moment.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Durham, will you put myself in a breakout with you very quickly? Thank you. Miss Grace can come too if she likes.
You want a breakout room with us, you said, Judge?
Yes, please, for a second. Or I could call you, but I think breakout be easier. Okay, Ms. Falk or Ms. Malgizzo, did we get any information? And does the state's position is the state change their position?
The state is not sure what I just received. It was just, is there any opportunity for let me see, I can read this verbatim. Is there
We don't
any
have to do that.
opportunity? Essentially, it was just, is there
Yeah.
any opportunity to consent to this? And the response was, sure, that's not a problem. So, but there's no agreement. There's no recommendation of what the.
Why don't you two
consent
talk? Mr. Partridge, why don't you drop off? Can you give Ms. Falk a call? Because I want to try to see if you all can agree to resolve this. And then
Sure,
you can
what's the
come back.
number?
Will you chat him your number, Ms. Falk, and maybe you all can figure it out.
Absolutely.
But Mr. Partridge, he does, I mean, I understand your position, but he has a bond on this. It may not be a bond you like, but he has an $8,000 surety on this case, so he technically can still bond out. But I'll let you speak to Ms. Falk about this matter.
Yes, Judge. If we can't work it out, then I'll advise my client to pay another bond to bond out on this
Right.
particular charge. Yes, yes, Shauna.
Okay, and if you can work it out, that's great. If not, there is a bond in place, and I know it's a felony case that's holding him in, but technically he could still make bond and get out on this case.
Understood, Judge.
All right. While we're doing that, are we ready for any other positions? If not, Mr. Tardo, who do you represent?
Yes, Judge, I represent Oralua Mike Ilyonyeche. I don't know the position number.
Oh, that's on the DV bench warrant. We're not quite ready for that. I
Oh.
thank you for being a little bit early. I appreciate that always. We'll be ready for that case right at 11, okay?
Certainly, Judge. Thank you. I'll stand by.
Thank you. Thank you for standing by. Thank you for being early. Sometimes we can take them early, but this isn't quite one of those days today.
Understood.
All right, thank you. We'll be on a very brief pause. Oh, Mr. Bartels, did you have something you would like to tell me? You stood in with purpose. You're muted. Oh, now I'm muted. There we go. I couldn't hear a word you were saying. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I don't know. I just wanted to see if there were any private attorney cases on the 11 o'clock calendar. I saw Mr. Detarda there a minute ago.
He's for the DV bench warrant case for position 1. I don't see any others. For position 2, I believe it's the public defender's office. And I don't see any of those parties yet logged in. So we'll hold for one moment. Thank you all for your patience this morning. Okay, Ms. Kim, you're back. And do you have an announcement?
Yes, so petition 34, he is pleading not guilty, and I'll file a waiver of arraignment.
Okay, Miss Lucia, let me at least interpret that.
Yes.
Is he there? Is he there before we do that? Tell him come. Yes. Okay, Mr. Sandoval, your case is 25 CR 001741A.
Señor Sandoval, su caso es el 25 CR 0017441A.
In this case, you're charged with simple battery family violence, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, and simple battery family violence.
En este caso, usted está acusado de agresión y violencia doméstica, crueldad a menores en 3er grado y agresión simple y violencia doméstica.
In this case today, you have a right to remain silent and you have a right to an attorney.
En este caso, el día de hoy, usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio y también tiene el derecho a un abogado.
As you can see, I'm conducting this hearing over the internet.
Como usted puede ver, esta audiencia está siendo hecha por medio de internet.
It's being broadcast as a live stream and it's also being recorded.
Está siendo publicada en vivo y también es grabada.
Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing today?
¿Comprende usted todos sus derechos y la audiencia del día de hoy? ¿Perdón?
Sí, se entiende.
Yes, I understand.
All right. I want to make you aware that your attorney has advised us that you wish to proceed to trial.
Quiero dejarle saber que su abogada nos ha dicho que usted pide y lo que usted quiere es seguir para un juicio.
That is your right.
Ese es su derecho.
But I do want the state to put on the record for you so that you understand what the recommendation would be if you resolved your case today.
Pero quiero que la fiscalía hable y ponga en el acta la recomendación de ellos si es que usted resuelve su caso el día de hoy.
Ms. Melguizo, will you please put the state's recommendation to resolve Mr. Sandoval's case onto the record?
Y la juez le ha pedido a la señora Melguizo de la fiscalía que ponga en el acta, que ella diga la oferta que la fiscalía tiene para usted para solucionar su caso el día de hoy.
Yes, Your Honor. For count 1, simple battery family violence, the state's recommendation is 12 months, concurrent with count 2, 60 hours community service, no further contact with Lilian Miranda.
Y la respuesta de la fiscalía es, para el primer cargo de agresión y violencia doméstica, 12 meses, una sentencia de 12 meses, que vaya al mismo tiempo, que cuente al mismo tiempo con el segundo cargo, con la segunda acusación, más 60 horas de servicio a la comunidad y ningún contacto futuro con la señora Liliana Mirano.
For count 2, cruelty to children at 3rd degree, 12 months to serve 60 days. Credit for time served 26 days. That's from March 23rd, 2025 to today's date.
Por la segunda acusación, que es crueldad a menores en 3er grado, se le da también, la sentencia que ellos piden también es de 12 meses, con 60 días para servir preso con crédito por los 26 días que usted está sirviendo desde el 23 de marzo hasta el día de hoy.
Balance probated, FVIP, no further contact with juvenile, initials AM. Stay away from 1685 Cheshire Bridge Road, Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia.
El balance del tiempo sería en probatoria, una orden judicial de mantenerse lejos de el menor con iniciales AM y de la dirección de 1685 Cheshire Bridge en el noreste de Atlanta.
For count 3, simple battery family violence, the state's recommendation is 12 months, concurrent with count 2, no further contact with the minor initials JM, and a parenting course.
Por la tercera acusación de agresión y violencia doméstica, también a la recomendación de la Fiscalía son 12 meses que van a ir al mismo tiempo con los otros 12 meses anteriores. Ningún contacto con el menor de edad con las iniciales JM y un curso para padres.
All right, so your attorney will file some paperwork, Mr. Sandoval, and your case will be reset, all right?
Entonces, señor Sandoval, su abogada va a llenar algunos papeles y su caso va a ser puesto en un nuevo calendario a una nueva fecha y se le comunicaremos.
All right, best of luck to you. Is there anything additional, Ms. Kim?
Mucha suerte y le pregunta si es que hay algo adicional que quiera añadir su abogada, la señora Kim.
Correct address is 1865, not 1685.
Oh, thank you.
Nada más corrigió la dirección, que la dirección es 1865, no 1685.
All right, is there anything else?
From defense, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Sandoval. Your case will be addressed a different day.
Ok, mucha suerte, señor Sandoval, y su caso volverá enfrente nuestro en otro día, otra ocasión.
All right. Miss Lucia, will you please sound before you leave to make sure no one else needs your assistance?
Yes, Your Honor. Damas y caballeros, si es que están en la llamada de Zoom y necesitan asistencia en español, por favor, abran su cámara y micrófono y déjenme saber.
Hearing none, thank you. We appreciate you coming on last minute. Take care.
Yes, Your Honor. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, back to Miss Falk and Mr. Partridge. Any announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, I was able to speak with Ms. Falk. I believe it would be better for Mr. Monroe at this time just to pay the bond as is, and I'll advise him with regard to that, Your Honor. Otherwise, I would have to get back in touch with Mr. Brown, get an order done, and go through that process, which may extend it a little bit longer than necessary. So I'll defer to Mr. Monroe, and we'll speak with him in more detail as it relates to that as well. But it may be best to go ahead and pay the bond as is.
Okay, and so did we want to reset this case when the bond would still stand? Are we going to just say that he's going to be reset for division, Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor, we can reset it 1 week just to make sure that the defendant has been released.
Okay, we'll reset 1 week to make sure everything's taken care of. Your client doesn't sit. Okay, Mr. Partridge?
Yes, Judge, and just to be clear as well, with the reset for 1 week, that would be back with this court at jail if he has been released. I just don't want to run the risk of him having another FTA or anything along those lines.
He wouldn't get an FTA for this calendar.
Understood. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right, take care. Have a good day.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, are there other parties from SAP, or can we move to the 11 o'clock calendar? Who's still in courtroom 2?
To the 11 o'clock. The two guys that remain is for the 11 o'clock calendar.
Everybody there is at 11 o'clock? Okay. All right, before we go into the breakout, I'm gonna do the DV bench warrant calendar. All right, I understand that let me call the calendar first. This calendar, the DV bench warrant calendar, these individuals failed to appear and are charged with a DV charge. At this calendar, we're gonna consider the facts of the case to see if the bench warrant should be lifted. Mr. DiTardo, is your client present?
No, Judge, my client is currently in immigration custody. He has been in immigration custody continuously since May of last year. He's moved from Stewart Detention Center to a facility in Alabama, and he was in the Pine Prairie Immigration Facility at the time that he missed his court date on this case back in October of 24.
Okay.
I've emailed with the state and explained to them that As an officer of the court, I can represent that that's where he was. I also have emails between myself and the facility to set up phone calls and video visits with him at that time. I figured that they may want something a little more formal by way of like a proof of incarceration form. So I have been trying to get that. I was promised last night that a caseworker from Pine Prairie was going to be calling me first thing this morning. I didn't get a call. So that's sort of a very long answer to your question, Judge, but that's kind of the state of things. Again, I can attest that that is where he was. He is still currently in immigration custody. He was moved to the River Parish facility in Louisiana because he had been attacked by other inmates at the Pine Prairie facility. I'm currently in discussions with the solicitor that's assigned to this case to see if there is some resolution to this case. But I am asking, based on what I have this morning, that the warrant be lifted because he was in fact incarcerated.
And unable to appear. Ms. Falk, the state's position regarding that?
We normally receive some sort of paperwork, just confirming that. That is what I asked Mr. DeTardo for. I did respond to him and say, I understand what you're saying. However, we do require some actual incarceration documentation. We require it out of the PD's office. I would ask no different from Mr. DeTardo.
Can you show us anything, Mr. DeTardo? I would take the logs or whatever you said that you would have. Can the court see those?
Yes, Judge, I can absolutely forward all of those communications. There's a
Okay.
designated. Yeah, I could forward that to the court.
Can forward that to Mr. Michael Jordan. Mr. Jordan, will you put your email in the chat? And please copy Ms. Falk. I'll take a look at it. And if I think it's persuasive, I understand that immigration can be a little bit different than regular incarceration. So whatever you could send me, I'll take a look at that and then I'll make a decision, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay. And I understand the state's position as well, but things are interesting right now. All right. Let's move to position 2 while I'm waiting for that information. Was there an offer to resolve it at all, Ms. Falk?
Your Honor, I can send the offer to whomever is handling I apologize, mispronounce your name, Miss Long case.
All right, Miss London, is that how we pronounce it? Are you driving? Okay. How do we pronounce your last name? We need you to unmute.
Okay, am I speaking now? Okay, here we
Yes.
go. Yes, ma'am, that's pronounced right. It's Lennon.
All right. Does anybody at the public defender's office represent Miss Lennon? If you're talking to me, Miss Kim,
No.
you're muted.
Oh,
Maybe White can have a breakout room.
Okay, Mr. White, can you speak with Miss Lennon? And if there's an offer, Miss Falk, will you forward it to Mr. White?
I just hit send to Mr. White. I sent it to courtroom 2 and to Mr. White, depending on who is talking to her.
Okay.
I'll speak with her, Judge.
Thank you. And going back to Mr. DeTardo for a second, Ms. Falk, was there if his client had been present, I understand there's some challenges here. Was there any offer to resolve if he could furnish proof of the immigration incarceration?
Well, no, Your Honor, given that the defendant wouldn't be here to accept a plea.
Well, I wasn't asking about a plea. If we can prove that he is unable to do anything and he's in an ICE situation, did the state have a different perspective on this matter?
I would be more than happy to take a closer look at that and make a determination.
Okay.
But at this moment, no.
Okay, understood. I was just wondering, I know you said you had some discussion. I was wondering if that was.
It was just earlier this morning, Your Honor.
Okay, I was trying to see if there was any discussion there. Okay, so we'll be on another very brief hold, and then we'll start our other 11 o'clock calendar once we've done these 2, because that'll take me out of the Zoom. All right, let's first go with Miss Lennon. I see that she's back. I haven't yet gotten that email, Mr. DeChardo, but I'm sure it's coming shortly. All right, Ms. Falk, are you back as well?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, and the state's position regarding the removal of the bench warrant in this case?
So it looks like Miss Lonan received her bench. Oh, my apologies. I was on the wrong calendar. Too many calendars. All right. So on Miss Lonan's case, this was a 22 CR case. It looks like she bench warranted on December 2nd of 2024. She failed to appear at a jury trial calendar. There was a waiver of jury trial September 7th of 2023. So it's clear at some point she was engaged in the process and then did not appear for jury trial, and a bond was ordered forfeited on December 2nd of 2024. And so for that reason, I'm not showing any return of service. I'm not showing that notice wasn't good. And so the state is not agreeing to have the bench warrant lifted.
Okay. I'm looking myself. All right, Mr. White, your client's perspective on the bench warrant and any thoughts on the offer?
Judge, as far as the bench warrant goes, the reason she didn't receive notice because apparently the apartment complex she lives in there's an issue with the mailbox, and they have informed the management at the apartment company that they will not deliver the mail until they fix the mailboxes there. So their mail is not coming at all. And they've been told that they can't even pick it up. I'm not sure how that works. So, but I've informed her of how to follow the case as far as, excuse me.
That's quite a ring.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I've informed her how she can track the case through the clerk's office, also through the Fulton County website. And she hasn't missed court in this case before. She was going. They still haven't fixed the problem with the mailboxes. They're looking at figuring out a way to get PO boxes for them or something along those lines. But at this point, she just never received notice.
Okay. Did she reject the state's offer to resolve the case?
I did not give her an.
Was there an offer, Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. I put it in the chat as you requested. I can state it on the record as well.
Okay.
The state's recommendation.
Well, I'm pretty sure she's looking for the case to be dismissed. I don't think she would be interested in any guilty offer. Is that correct, Ms. Lennon? All right.
Well, just to place it on the record, the state's offer was 12 months probation with 40 hours of community service, no further contact with the victim, and family violence intervention program.
Okay. And
so the state was not requesting any jail time. And it also states in the information I received that her pretrial officer actually emailed her the court date. So not only did she receive notice by mail, but she received notice by her pretrial officer, who placed in the notes that they emailed her the court date as well.
Okay.
So can I speak, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
I don't think you should, but hold on.
Okay.
If it's just to address that.
The email, yes, because I'm gonna say I did email her, but she did not even email me back. I emailed her 3 times and have not received any reply. Only she replied to me one time and asked me what would I like to do with the case, would I like to continue it, or it was something like that. She basically asked me how would I like to follow up with the case, and that's it. She never replied back ever again. So it was never no email about the date.
That's good enough.
Okay, Ms. Lennon, I'm going to give you a second chance this one time. I'm going to remove the bench warrant, but understand there will not be a second dismissal of this. You have an affirmative duty, regardless of what's happening with your mailbox at that location, to go and call the court or call whoever you need to to make sure you don't miss any additional court dates. You need to update perhaps with a different address of someone else or some address where you can get mail within the next 10 to 15 days, okay? And you need to check weekly on this case. I will remove the bench warrant this one time. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Miss London, you're free to go. Go get that handled today.
Okay.
This is a one-time opportunity because really the facts weigh against you in this matter. But I'm gonna believe you and give you a second chance, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And,
All right.
what is it do I have to do? Specifically, do I have to call somebody to get the
You
bench
you
warrant off
should
or go back to court?
no, we're gonna remove the bench warrant, but you need to figure out this address part. You need
Okay.
to keep
Okay.
checking on it with the clerk, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All
Like I
right, take care.
check weekly.
Okay. I
Every
will.
week, every week, get up and check your case.
Okay,
All
I
right.
will. Thank y'all.
All right, take care. All right, let's go back. I'm sorry, Mr. White, you want to say something
Yeah,
else?
I'm going to fill out the order, but we didn't receive a calendar for the bench warrant, so I need a case number. If somebody could just type that into the chat.
Okay. I'm sure Mr. Jordan will take care of that for us. All right, Miss London, you're free to go. Take care.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, back to Mrs. DiTardo. I am gonna, I reviewed the email. I will take your representations as an officer of the court that's where he was. And I'll remove the bench warrant, but understand that what you have is not gonna be good enough for the state to take any affirmative action as it pertains to this case. So you'll have to keep working on that to see if you get the case resolved, okay?
Understood. Do I need to prepare any order for that or?
I believe you might need to. If you would just give a proposed order to Mr. Jordan where you sent that other email about dismissing the bench warrant, I'll take a look and make any modifications as necessary and get it back out and filed, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
All right, you are free to go. Take care, Mr. Ricardo, and best of luck to your client. I'm hoping you can help him figure out the remainder of that situation.
Hope so too. Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, can we review the state all-purpose calendar? Are we finished with state all-purpose? Did we do every position we could do before we start competency? I'm looking. Mr. Jordan, did we do it all?
We're done, John.
Okay. So can we go ahead and review that calendar and then I can let everybody who doesn't need to stay for competency go?
Position 1, waived jury. Position 2 was a plea. Position 3 was a plea. Position 4 was no pros. Position 5, made bond. Position 6, you want me to reset that 1 week or have the orders been signed already?
Reset 1 week, I think. Is that correct, Ms. Falk?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Position 7, reset 4/24/25 SAP. Position 8 was a plea. Position 9 is reset 5/26/25 SAP. Position 10 made bond. Position 11, you want me to do a 1 week reset on that one also?
Yes, any case where there's a DA transfer, please just reset 1 week to 4/24. Thank you.
Thank you. Position 12 is reset 4/24, same as position 11. Position 13 was a plea. Position 14 waived jury. Position 15 waived jury. Position 16 was a plea. Position 17 was a plea. Position 18 and 19 were pleas. Position 20 was a no pros. Position 21 is reset 4/24/25 SAP. 22 is the same as 21. Position 23 was reset 4/24/25 SAP. Position 24 was no pros. Position 25 is reset 4/24/25 SAP. Positions 26 and 27 were reset 4/24/25 SAP. Position 28 is reset 4, 24, 25 SAP. Position 29, reset 4, 24, 25 SAP. Position 30 was a plea. 31 was no pros. Positions 32 and 33 are reset 4, 24 SAP. Position 34, waive jury. Position 35 is reset 4, 24, 25 SAP. Position 36 was a plea. Position 37 and 38 are reset 4, 24, 25 SAP. Position 39 was a plea. Position 40 was no pros. Position 41 made bond. 42 is waive jury. Was a plea.
Could you repeat position 36 and 37, please?
Uh, 36 was a plea. Tyshawn Terry. And 37
Yes.
was reset 4, 24, 25 SAP.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other comments, changes, or corrections? Okay, now we're gonna go into the breakout for the 11 o'clock competency. And everyone else who does not need to remain with us is free to go. No one can see me. Don't know what's going on there.
Thank you.
All right. All right, take care, everyone who doesn't need to stay. Bye-bye. All right, if I could be placed in that breakout.
And Your Honor, Ms. Melguiso will also be joining me in that breakout.
Okay, that's fine.
Ms. Warhol, you should see an invitation to join the breakout room.
I understand what you're saying. There's no extra people, but if someone wanted to see this.
Right.
All right. Mr. Barnes, your case is 25 CR 0092, I'm sorry, 0000924E. In this case, you're charged with theft by taking and loitering prowling, with the offense date of February the 22nd of 2025. You have a right to remain silent and you have a right to an attorney, and I'm conducting this hearing by video. Do you understand your rights and how I'm holding the hearing today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Falk?
State's recommendation on count one, the theft by taking, 12 months serve 110 days, credit for time served 55 days. That is from February 22nd, 2025 until today. Balance suspended. Stay away from the Verge Apartments at 125 Milton Avenue in Atlanta. Count two, 12 months concurrent with count one. The defendant on this date went to the Verge Apartments at 125 Milton Avenue Southeast and took a green and blue bicycle from the property that was the property of the Verge Apartments. The bicycle was then later recovered. That's all for the state. And we do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Do you still stipulate, Mr. Bartels?
We do so stipulate, Your Honor. I've explained Mr. Barnes' options to him and how what the state's recommended sentence is. I believe he's able to go ahead with the plea. We did get his evaluation back on April 11th, and that was the finding of DBHDD as well. And I've advised him that, again, as the state said, he can't go back to this location. So we would just ask the court to accept the agreement, and we'll so stipulate for a plea.
All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and is given under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No,
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking the plea?
no.
And you understand that you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up the right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
What was that?
You're giving up the right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt, like you would do it at a trial.
Okay, yes.
And you understand that you absolutely cannot go back to that location?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea can affect other aspects of your life?
Yeah.
All right. As to the charge of theft by taking and loitering and prowling, how do you plead, Mr. Barnes?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Ms. Falk
No, Your Honor.
or Mr. Bartels?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Are there other cases we're going to take a plea in? Let's go ahead and take those if we can. while
Yes,
we're
Your
on the
Honor.
record.
Position 8, Monterio Sperling.
Yes, sir, I can do it.
Can we take Mr. Sperling next?
Yes, Your Honor, you can go ahead.
Is there any extra time on number 8? The court reporter left. I just want to make sure before we start.
I'm sorry, say that again.
So is there going to be any extra time on position 8 because the court reporter left? I was just trying to see if we.
There will not.
There's not extra time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Your Honor, just to let the court and the state know, we did get Mr. Sperling's evaluation back on April 7th. And according to the evaluation, he would be able to go forward with his plea. I did have some concerns, but I think Mr. Sperling's situation is such that he needs extra time just for information and options to be explained to him. And I have gone over that with him, and he has told me that he wants to enter a plea, and he does understand what his options are, and he wants to resolve his case today.
So you had recommended a reset of this case, but your client wishes to go forward?
Well, yes, that's correct, Your Honor. After I've explained it to him, I think with enough time for him to understand what his options are.
Okay, so we are going to take the plea.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just making sure. All right, Mr. Sperling, your case is 25 CR 001024G. You're charged with 2 counts one count battery family violence and 1 count of simple battery family violence. Do you understand your rights today?
Hold on, can you explain to me what I'm talking about? Please, I know, could you explain to me what I was charged with?
Okay, you're charged with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Do you understand those?
Different. The first one was different.
Would you like to speak to your attorney who can give you more specific advice?
You explain to me the difference.
No, I technically can't. Mr. Bartels would have to be the one to explain it to you.
He never tell me nothing about the first.
He's willing to tell you right now. Would you like him to tell you?
Yeah, I want to figure it out.
Okay, let's let Mr. Bartels speak to Mr. Sperling for a moment.
Your Honor, I believe the best thing to do would be to reset this case for 1 week.
I think so.
It's a difficult decision, I think. So,
I understand there's a lot of factors to consider. So, Mrs. Sperling, your attorney has asked for one more week. You'll come,
I thought it
you'll,
was, it was like me because I had money to pay my own money to get out though. I got my own money to pay my own money.
no, I know, what
Free
they
attorney.
want,
The free attorney. He's free. I could pay somebody to help me.
we're the
okay.
best as money can't buy.
Right. And what I agree, Mr. Bartels, but what I was gonna say is I think there's some things that need to take place over the course of a week. So we're gonna reset your case to then. You can think more about this. You'll have more chances to ask questions. And I think it's in your best interest for us to give this case a little bit more work.
I gotta see this. I gotta hear this thing. I say go back to my room. I don't want to hear it again. Unless I don't.
I understand. I just want you to be aware of what's happening so that you can't say no one told you, okay? So you're gonna come back next week and we're gonna address your case then, okay?
All right. All right.
All right. Best of luck. I know you're frustrated. It's frustrating, okay? Take care.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you back. I'll be back.
Okay. Are there any other potential pleas?
No, Your Honor, I believe that's it. Like I said, Mr. Sperling, it's a difficult call. I think we need to look at that again.
Okay, we're gonna go back onto the breakout. Can everybody just go back? Do we have the option to just move ourselves back into that room? I think it's closed. Do we? Will you open a new one and let us go back in there?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry to have us moving back and forth, but I'd like to keep as much confidential items off the record as I can.
Ms. Grace, we're done.
Okay.